Terrorist-tied Dem running for Virginia governor has disturbing plan for his state if he wins. Ralph Northam, who is a former congressman and Virginia's Socialist Democrat lieutenant governor, has now become the Democratic nominee in the race for governor. Hey, why not keep doubling down on failure? But in his quest to win the governorship of the once dark red state, which has now turned purple because all the lazy and entitled government workers from the D.C. area which are moving to that once great state, Northam has taken it upon himself to be a perfect Democrat and reach out to many different kinds of voters, which include Virginia's growing Muslim community. He cemented this fact by emphasizing his opposition to President Donald Trump's falsely coined Muslim ban and his commitment to an inclusive Virginia, which we all know by now is code word for everyone is welcomed except whites. Northam spoke at the All Dulles Area Muslim Society Center, Adams, which is an organization who is tightly connected to the SAR Network. The SAR Network is an organization of Islamist terror supporters and financial backers that have eluded being prosecuted for years, kind of like CAIR but at a smaller scale. Federal agents have uncovered ample amounts of evidence against members of the SAR network, but sadly, political favors and connections have led to the case being dropped multiple times by law enforcement. Because of this, the SAR network never receives justice and is free to buy politicians and political favors at will just as long as they pay enough, which we know terrorists have no money problems at all. Inside Nova reports. Ralph Northam, anti-Muslim rhetoric threatens Virginia economy. For Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam, President Donald Trump's inflammatory comments and policies directed toward Muslims and Latino immigrants are more than just insulting, they're a threat to Virginia's economy. Both Northam and his opponent for the Democratic nomination in Virginia's gubernatorial race, former Congressman Tom Perriello, have frequently denounced the morality of Trump's policies. But in a visit to the All Dulles Area Muslim Society Mosque in Sterling on Friday, Northam argued that the new administration's actions also come with a financial cost to his would-be constituents. Leadership in Virginia is going to stand for inclusivity, because that hate is not who we are, Northam said in an interview. It's important for human justice and social justice, but it's also important for our economy. All of these people contribute to the Commonwealth of Virginia, and we just want to make sure that they're welcome here. Northam makes a similar argument as the man he's hoping to succeed in Richmond, Democratic Governor Terry McAuliffe and Attorney General Mark Herring. The state's top lawyer is one of several attorneys general across the country to file legal action against Trump's travel ban on 7 Muslim-majority countries, and Herring argued that policy would prevent Virginia's companies from attracting foreign workers and make it more difficult for international students to study at state colleges. Accordingly, Northam sees Trump's policies as antithetical to his vision of economic opportunity for all Muslims, all Virginians. He worries that the president's fearmongering might scare people away from settling in the Commonwealth, even as courts repeatedly rebuff the administration's efforts at imposing any form of travel ban. No one should have to live like that in this country, Northam said. Northam would necessarily be constrained in what he could actually do to beat back Trump's policies. However, he believes he could still have some sort of impact on keeping Virginia a diverse place by standing up to reject the administration's rhetoric. It starts with leadership, and being an ambassador here in the Commonwealth of Virginia and saying, "We are not going to tolerate what we're seeing in Washington right now," Northam said. "We're not going to accept this as the new normal." He added that his administration, with plenty of help from Herring, who's also up for re-election this fall, would be vigilant in watching for any bigotry that might be inspired by Trump's actions, and would act aggressively to prevent it. "It's about keeping a close eye on the workplace to make sure there's not discrimination, keeping a close eye on schools to make sure we don't have bullying," Northam said. But Northam will only get a chance to take those steps if he can best Perriello in the party's June 13 primary. With a few remaining days left between now and then, he plans to make it clear that he'd fight for both a welcoming society and a welcoming economy as governor. "We'll continue to emphasize how inclusive Virginia is as we go around the state," Northam said. Northam has been confirmed to have received political contributions by both Mar Jacob Investments and Reston Investments. Both of these entities form part of the SAR network in the U.S. And for the scumbag politician to hold events at Adams is the same as putting a stamp of approval on terrorism. Did everyone all of a sudden forget September 11, 2001? We all know the Democrat Party always supports the side of terrorism, they have proven it time after time. And this is why no more Democrats should be elected into office. Since Obama was elected president, the Democrat Party has lost over 1,000 elected offices throughout the country. Let's try to make it 1,000 more.